So like many of you, you've probably been impacted by the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk this past week. And I thought about the fact, if you're going to have someone eulogize your life to get up and speak at your memorial service, you're probably going to want your friends and family, the people that are going to say good things about you because they knew you, and obviously they have a reason to say good things about you. It's another thing when someone who doesn't really know you, only maybe cursory, and doesn't even have your same faith, offers a eulogy over your life. And that's why I thought this clip here from Tyrus, he's a Fox News contributor, former wrestler, is really just so revealing about the life that Charlie Kirk lived. So check this out.
Last word to you.
You know, this has been difficult because I feel bad because I didn't like what Charlie was doing. I'm not a religious person. And I find, unfortunately, in my life experience, isn't that most people that put God in front of them were full of it and dangerous. And Charlie, in his death, I learned that his faith was unbelievable. And I can't relate to that. So it bothers me on a certain level because I didn't think the risk was worth certain things in this world. Unfortunately, in our country, we can't discuss. And he took 3 things that were death sentences with this country. He talked about religion, he talked about gender, and he talked about politics. With one side, how many buildings burned last night? Not one.
That's right.
How many people were dragged in the street for looking like they maybe were the shooter? Not one. How many police officer was spit on for not doing their job? Not one. The hate, the negativity, even for a person, I met him a couple times, I think he did this show with us. But the things that him and I have in common, his little girls are never going to see their dad again because he had principles and accountability, and that used to be something in this country that we admired. To be different, to speak your heart, and he did something that most of us, he had a patience that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
This dude would give the microphone to any asshole that would want to say anything.
Yeah.
We won't even let our audience talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and they might be saying, Tyrus, I love you. Get out. And he would give the mic knowing that they were there to call him every name in the book and this, that, whatever. Like, I just, for a guy who didn't buy into the religious thing, and that's me. I'm not gonna lie. You just can't lie about these things. I didn't understand his commitment. And I really wish I would have learned the lesson better than in his being murdered, unless he was murdered. And the side, I don't think they're gonna get the result that they wanted because they didn't get the violent response from the MAGA.
Yeah.
But you just inspired millions of Charlie Kirks. So you couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
I hope they finish his tour. I hope people of faith that they continue his tour, they continue his legacy. And they'll be wishing that they just had the one big voice, because I really think he's going to inspire a generation.
Think about that. Here's a guy who is vulnerable enough to admit that when he thought of Christians, he thought to himself, yeah, they're full of it. And by that, I'm assuming he means that the Christians he knew would say one thing, but behind the scenes or in real life, they weren't any different than anyone else. Their faith really didn't matter. And yet Tyrus openly admits that Charlie Kirk took his faith and shared it with people, talking about the 3 things you are not supposed to talk about: politics, religion, and gender. And he did it with love and conviction. So I agree with Tyrus. What do you think? Do you think that the death of Charlie Kirk is actually going to continue his movement, or do you think it's going to fade away? I tend to think it's going to grow even bigger. And really, if you think about it, I'm just going to make this comment. They murdered Charlie Kirk because he was showing us the way. Charlie Kirk, I saw a short clip from him talk about Christians and how we're supposed to be salt and light in the world. And that salt and light, both, they don't change into something else. They transform the things that they come into contact with. And that's what a life of following Jesus is supposed to look like. We're supposed to transform others, not be conformed to the world. Charlie Kirk perfectly exemplified that. And I think in the end, tell me what you think. Comment below. Charlie Kirk was sharing the love of God, but he was offering the truth in gentleness and kindness, but also he was offering the tough love of the truth in a way that invited people to redemption. And because Charlie Kirk was seeking revival, a change of the heart, I believe his movement is going to continue and maybe even be bigger. What do you think? Comment below. I'm Brian Tuttamore. That's today's Faith Check News. And remember, think right to live free.
One of my life's calling is to go to the darkest places that humanity has, college campuses, and to fight for righteousness and goodness. And I'll prove it to you by what Christ told us. What Jesus told us is to be salt and light. Now we hear that, but we don't think deeply about what it means. What does salt and light have in common? They change the environment that they come in contact with. Light brightens up a dark place, and salt will make something saltier. College campuses are very dark places. In some ways, I'm almost like a cultural missionary. Now, you are right about the radicals, but I'm going to give you a little bit of hope. Gen Z boys are the most conservative generation of boys since 1975.